welcome to another episode of The Lifting. Today's episode is being recorded on 7/17/25. So, with that, we're on a bit of a time constraint tonight, so I will just get straight into this. But before that, I say this channel is now open to true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So, Joanna?
We are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, that only the highest good be done. We pray for ourselves, our friends, our family, our loved ones to let healing energies in. Let them love us, let them nourish us, and let them bring us to our highest good. We ask now for benevolence to come in with no conflicting agenda so that we may have this conversation in great understanding. And we ask for malevolent or mischievous beings to be swept away right now so that we may have this conversation in peace. And with that and great blessings that we always send your way, we say so be it.
And so
be it. It was actually very beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting show, folks. Audrey Walters here with Mike Kump and David Purcell.
Yes, sir.
Are all here today. Audrey is going to do the opening channeling with her fairy friend. What's your fairy friend's name?
She wants to be called Starlight.
Starlight. Okay. Like superhero. So sort of.
Well, she's putting a lot more emphasis on light, so she's like, it's Starlight,
Okay.
but it has no association with any like character.
Okay. But I mean the name alone.
Yeah, we were thinking Starfire.
Oh, that too.
Wasn't Starlight the one from The Boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That too. So.
And before you start, Audrey, why are you dressed up?
We are going to a costume party, and I dress up as if I'm supposed to be a cosmic fair.
All right. Just in case you guys are wondering, tonight at the conference here, starting at about 10 o'clock, there is a costume and dance party that will start from like 10 till 1 or so in the morning. And Audrey came to dinner already dressed, and it's beautiful if you would see her in person. So, actually, thanks for doing that. It adds nice to this as well. So, with that, we're going to turn it over to you, Audrey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Starlight. Emphasis on Starlight. I'm here because of the forest people. I'm here to protect them, but specifically the little bonsai tree, Blair. His mother sent me to watch over him and bring him back home after the conference. I'm mostly here as a messenger about the forest burning, and that we've been helping a lot of the animals escape a lot of the forest fires. There's a lot of debate right now about whether or not that we should close some of the portals in the forest. But we do want to keep them open in order to help with migrational issues, but we think that we'll turn them off seasonally in order to help with migration and turn them off because we have found out that a lot of the portals are starting to become corrupted because of the dark energy of the SSP. We didn't really understand a whole lot about the SSP, so coming to this conference and learning about it was a new experience for us, which explains a whole lot. Most of my friends here are just here to learn and understand because we don't get a whole lot of news or information from the human world. We only get it when the forest has issues, and we try to mediate the issue and help them. We're mostly essentially guides. We know that we're starting to become more present because we don't really like the weather modification stuff. It's ruining and suffering a lot of the animals and trees. But we have started to find out that a lot of the dolphins want to come chat. They're over by the Florida Keys right now. They also want to come in and chat as well. But this is a very new experience for us, and we're happy to be here. We do try to help with a lot of interference at this conference, and there was some interference at the conference today, but it seems to mellow out. There is a lot of attacks happening at the border, but other than that, everything seems to be going okay.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming through. So, what kind of message would you want from your perspective for people attending the conference? What kind of information would you like to pass on that you feel we should know about?
The forest people are real. They are here, and they are in danger of, we want to try to put it as extinction, but they are in danger. Some of the oak trees are being infested by beetles that are killing the bark of some of the oak trees and oaks. And so I'm mostly as a messenger that there's great urgency to respect the forest, and that the forest is sort of like lungs of the planet, and they do need to have a voice to let them know that, even though that they seem like they're flourishing, but they are in trouble.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have any questions?
Is there anything we can do as participants or members here to help with the forest?
We're hoping that a lot more people have a lot more research and education about the forest, and we like that the forest people are here to encourage people to help fix the forest. Some of our fairy friends or fairy folk, they're a little bit more aggressive than us, that we're causing a lot of disturbances in the forest. And there's a lot of darkness because they absorb a lot of the negative energy. And there's a lot of disruption, but we're hoping that more and more people come more connected to the forest and learn their roots, and in order to help with a lot of the exotic pets or exotic animals, and also order to help with understanding about we understand that a lot of humans love animals and love insects, but they don't understand what it's causing for the foreign exchange of animals and insects, and how that's destroying the ecosystem of Earth. We're very much focused that if the ecosystem of Earth collapses, then everything, even the human world, will start to collapse as well. We don't want that, and the dolphins want to channel through. Is that okay?
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Dolphin. I don't know what human name you want to give me.
If you just want to go by Dolphin, we're fine with that.
I am Dolphin Messenger. I am from the Florida Keys. We migrated here for the conference, and we want to have a voice. A lot of the merfolk are also in distress. They also want to have a voice. A lot of the coral reefs are dying, and we're afraid that the ecosystem is collapsing. And we're just here to spread awareness. We understand there's a lot of messengers, a lot of psychics, and we're hoping to get our message across about the oceans. We understand a lot of super soldiers have worked with us And we want to know that we're sorry that we couldn't help them escape from the programs. We just want unity and peace and connection. We don't want to become military assets. We just want to share the knowledge that was passed from us from Atlantis and Lemuria about Earth's history. And a lot of the merfolk are a little bit judgmental of humanity because they don't like the trash pollution. But we have been showing efforts that there has been some efforts of private sector humans that have been cleaning up the oceans. And we want them to continue cleaning up the oceans and helping with the coral reefs. We really want humans to focus on the coral reefs.
Can I ask what we could do for the coral reefs?
The energy grid of the ocean needs to be fixed. And there's only so much that we can do in order to help with the energy grid. We don't have human hands. We only have fins, and we can direct humans where the problem is for the energy grid of the ocean. A lot of the pyramids that we've been protecting under the water are just corroding away and causing a lot of disturbance. And we think that one of the pyramids is what's causing the killing or the destruction of the coral reefs. So we're hoping that our message, that people who are grid workers, that love to work with dolphins or aquatic or the ocean, to really focus your energy of the ley lines that focus more into the ocean in order to help with healing the ocean altogether. The ocean really needs the loving and healing of humanity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
So I think one of the interesting things, because Carissa and I work so much in the concept of helping people understand who they are and their co-creative skills, because many people would be saying and sitting there and watching and hearing this, their hearts would want to do something, but they feel helpless. They don't know what to do. One of the techniques, and I am curious about what you think about what I'm about to say, that one of the techniques we always try to work with people is to understand we are co-creative beings and our collective energies can change it. So one of the things I believe people who feel they're helpless that can't get into the ocean and do things is to actually be aware of this, to actually start spending their times daydreaming, seeing it all back, seeing the coral reefs healthy, seeing, and when we say that, we say, you know, what does it taste like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? When you're there with people, what are you doing in these new revitalized places? And then allow that to be manifested in by, again, that type of energy that is saying this now is the experience that people want to experience. Healthy reefs, healthy balance of the ocean, healthy balance of the forest, that would then obviously aid with all of you. That is just a suggestion to me that I, with people listening, that I would say to spend time every day to daydream this health back into our world. But I am curious, you know, from your perspective, is that something that you feel could be quite helpful from your perspective?
Yes, anything that humans can think of that can help heal our oceans and connect with the aquatic life of the ocean is greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you. And is there anything very specific that humans are not aware of? Because one thing you just mentioned was a pyramid, that something under the sea has been activated that is actually contributing to destruction. So Chris and I know that there are multiple levels of people, military, and different things that listen to what we do. So hopefully this brings that into people's hands, an awareness that they need to look for something that needs to be stopped and deactivated. Again, we can lend our energies to it, but there probably are groups, hopefully, that are hearing this now that actually can play a more direct role in, dismantling something that sounds like it needs to be dismantled, while we lend our energy seeing that that is done. So I'm hoping who needs to hear this, and I will agree with you that sometimes from what we have done, they are not aware. And so I can tell you that bringing this forward into this conversation for the way that we feel, and hopefully for yourself, we greatly appreciate it so that we can get the message out, because I do believe that there are those that can literally have a hand in fixing something more literally by going and doing it. So I just want to throw that support in.
Aquatic life of the ocean, they want to connect with humanity. They want to have a connection, but we don't understand what it's stopping. And we understand that there's several federal laws, but we want to share our knowledge. We want connection with humans. We used to have connections with humans a long time ago. And we even help with their ascension process. And this is how we have merfolk living in our ocean. The merfolk need to connect to their human side on land as well. So there isn't a war between land and ocean.
I completely concur and agree with that.
What specific locations in the ocean should we be focusing on the most? Like where was the pyramid that you said was causing the most problems? Where is that located? So we can start there.
The Great Coral Reef.
Off of Australia.
Yes.
And you're right. I mean, I think we've all seen and watched people showing how that just is completely falling apart. They've said before that it was related to maybe ocean temperatures rising. I don't know if you agree with that concept.
It's what's causing the heating up of the ocean. We believe that it was put there by a dark force, which we don't know who that was.
Yes, I can actually see that. Looks to be a remnant from the wartime, actually. An old remnant piece of technology from that time. So I've been attempting to use my energy to reverse it. At first I thought it was Lemurian technology, but it's no, it was made to mimic the look of it, and this is something else. So I've been trying to collapse it back into its reality. It's from a different reality altogether, so I've been trying to fold it back into its frequency.
Do you know when it was put in there, or when it was activated?
I have to ask our ancestors. I have to ask the octopus, because the octopus knows more than we do.
Let's see here.
It seems to me the SSP were there, so the SSP that are here, could we go and deactivate what we activated? Because we may not have realized what we were activating, because we're not in control all the time of our actions.
We suspect it might have had something to do with the crystal skull that was recently found. Just because one artifact is found, they usually activate another thing that counteracts the positive of the planet.
Yes, this looks to be a remnant from like the Orion Wars or something like that. That was deactivated around that time. But then, when one good thing came into this realm, another bad thing then was activated. That was from the same time frame. It looks like. So I've just been trying to. It looks like I nearly got it, but there's a multitude of levels to this thing.
Is there any volunteers that you see that are willing to also help from the Galactics? Did they know this was going on?
Yes, I believe so. To a point. But let me see here. This has been brought to their attention now, so they're helping as well. And I'm basically, oh, there we are. Trying to turn this, it's a piece of stone technology, but it's broken. It's leaking something. So there's a bomb at the center of this thing. So they're shoving it into one of the triangles here. Uh-huh. Okay, they're shoving it further north towards the Dragon's Triangle, south of Japan. Okay. Alright. Okay. You got forest people, you got this too? And other dolphins, yes. As well as other nature life forms. I'm seeing benevolent octopi life forms too. So, and there's something getting in my way now. Okay, true benevolence and uplifting agendas, please. Sisters of this moment in time, Titans, Pele, Chrome, any of you? Okay, Pele is the closest one to that location, so. Okay, alright. Now it's moving. Slowly. Hope the aquatic reptilians like that. Okay, let's see. There we are. Did that make a difference?
Yes, thank you.
I am curious that you brought up the fact, and maybe Chris, others can also contribute in the conversation about the fact that finding one thing, and again, we just spoke about, we're talking about the skull that's here. Is that, so we were just speaking about that, which felt like a very benevolent collective was within that skull, and actually trying to, I find it a very interesting concept of something like that being found, but then something else was cut on as well, cut on to work as well that wouldn't be so benevolent.
The crystal is not malevolent.
The crystal is not.
The crystal skull
Is-
on the table is not malevolent. It's disguising itself as malevolent.
Okay.
It's-
Thank you for saying that.
The skull is not benevolent. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I thought I could. I think there were several voices in there that
Yeah.
were malevolent, but then others were
Well,
more neutral. But
There's a collective in there.
yeah, there's collective
Yes,
voices in there.
I agree with that.
I touched it and my arms got all shot up and they were all happy. I think I saw, it seemed to me like a small gray, and he was signaling other people to come over, because as soon as I touched it, he got really, really excited.
Mm,
And I generally don't want anything to do with the grays. I've had nothing but problems with them. I understand that there's a wide variety of them, but that's my own personal thing.
Well, you're saying something that makes sense to what else I saw, because I did see that, but then I saw all these others, and I thought what I was seeing was trying to take over the conversation, but it really was about the conversation, and I misunderstood what I was seeing.
Mhm. Was what the forest people said during that conversation true about the descriptions of the life forms that were in that skull, or are in that skull?
Somewhat.
Okay.
A lot of the spirits in the skulls are disguising themselves of their true intentions and true purpose and what they look like. We believe it's the concept that humans talk about as demons are inside it.
That's the one I saw. Okay, because
Yeah. All right. Why did the forest people not describe them accurately?
Because the spirit in the crystal skull threatened them that if they expose the truth, that they would continue burning the forest.
please don't believe those people anymore. Talk to the humans directly.
Yes. Talk to us directly, forest people. Fuma, if you're still around, I know that believe there could have been an aquatic reptilian group in there as well, because they tend to be a danger to the forest people quite a bit.
So we know the one thing that we've always been told, and I'm curious, was this the tactic, is normally things start out at giving something benevolent and helping and then change the conversation. Was that the tactic that was going to be used? Because
The crystal skull is what disrupted the panel.
Interesting. That specific collective did?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Would
Interesting.
the forest people be open to having like open representation, like meeting people more? Can like anyone go to meet them? Or
It's a rock and a hard place with them because they're afraid. They're very similar to humans. Very similar. They're afraid that if they speak out, more of their forest would burn, and the more that they hear the screamings in the forest of the children, and that there's nothing else that they can do. And on the other side, that if they do continue speaking out, that they're afraid that they might go extinct and more issues will arise, and they don't want to cause more harm to humans.
Please speak up. Please do not operate in fear. We need to know what's going on to solve the problem. You're going to have to we're going to have to meet you halfway. I understand what you're scared of. But this is a real issue, and it's really important, and you have to be strong.
Are folks agreeing with this?
Yes. Yes.
There are humans who will help you. You know that. Don't live in the fear, please. Let us help you and help each other. This is our plan together. We can work together.
They say thank you.
Yes, I feel that. Yes, if Fuma didn't lie, he wanted to defuse the situation that had taken place there in the room. But like you said, somewhat the description, but there was more to the conversation. So I do understand his group has been attacked quite a bit, his clan. So yes, thank you for warning us about that.
Yes, absolutely. And I find this whole thing very interesting because I think and I just wanted to clarify about the collective. You have some with not so good intentions and others that were neutral to it. That's what you're saying, correct? In that collective?
Yes.
I also sensed some unwilling ones as well. Like they were being held against their will.
Yes.
Okay, that was the one that was freaked me out.
Well, then, if what's in there is dark, what was the good counterbalance that actually awoke the dark pyramid then?
The cube that came with it.
The cube that was being described. Okay, they couldn't bring because it was too heavy. All right.
Would breaking the skull solve the problem? Or destroying the skull?
No. What the crystal needs is the love frequency blasting at it for 24 hours straight, and it should be cleansed. It hasn't been cleansed in over hundreds and hundreds of years. It needs a good cleanse.
All right, I can actually see that. I'm seeing a big light burst going down inside of that, and I'm setting the intention that it go for at least 24 hours. And there's a fairly large orb inside of there as well. Looks to be mechanical. I'm going to flick that out there. Alright, then I'm asking our troop benevolence only with no conflicting agendas, please occupy that skull, and no other beings are to be present at this moment in time. There we go. There.
We don't want the misconfusion. We do want humans to find their artifacts, but you have to use caution because your ancestors left booby traps.
That's really great to say because, again, the one thing I find interesting about this moment, and first of all, we're just going to say flat out, I talked about my experience that I had last night. I thought the gray that I was seeing was trying to disrupt it versus I was actually seeing it. So I didn't bring it up. I just ignored it. I think the interesting thing about this conversation is something that Chris and I have said forever. No one is exempt from misinterpreting and not recognizing things because, in all honesty, Chris and I, in the long run, got this one actually a little bit wrong. And I'm not going to be ashamed or embarrassed about it because when we find that out, we correct the conversation. So I have to thank you very, very much for kind of making sure that this conversation was had to discuss it. And again, I have to tell people, do your best in discernment, but always be willing to take a second look when new information comes around, because they're good at what they do. They're good at what they do in the deception and different things like that. And so we have to always give ourselves grace to grow and to be able to learn to discern even better. So, I am very grateful that you stepped forward. I truly, truly am grateful
Thank you
that
very
you
much.
stepped forward.
Thank you very much.
And I want you to just see this is an example of us being able to fix problems that we caused or were part of.
And being willing to learn and grow ourselves.
Yes, very important.
Yeah.
So I hope that you can feel the genuine intention that we have to do our best to grow and learn, and to, again, be more skeptical and make sure that we have enough time to see through the facade of a benevolence when it's not really there. So
We hope that humans will connect more and more to the dolphin consciousness and hopefully whale.
Are there any specific meditations to get to that consciousness? Or practices that we should be doing?
Just connecting with the ocean, putting just basic things, putting your feet in the water of the ocean, or picturing the ocean, or looking at the wildlife of the ocean and thinking of healthy living and healthy stuff. The sharks really don't want to be the prize object of Shark Week. They want their cousins like dolphins and whales and octopus to have their own week during the summer instead of just Shark Week.
That makes sense, yeah. I can see why you don't like it too much, Joanna.
I know, I'm like,
She hates Shark Week. So
it's like, how many years of this must we go through?
We're 29 now, 30?
No, Shark
Like,
Week, yeah.
come
It's become a
on.
cult phenomenon, so I agree, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the forest people have been talking to me, as you've been talking, Starlight, and they're apologetic for omitting information, but they wanted to diffuse the situation.
I'm not Starlight, I'm Dolphin.
Dolphin, excuse me. Starlight's in the room too, so I do apologize. They are apologetic for omitting, and Starlight in front of me, that's why I misspoke, sorry. But yes, thank you for that information, Dolphin. I've spoken to dolphins before, both salt and freshwater. And are your people a type of mer in and of themselves?
We are our own race.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions?
No, I'm just so happy this conversation occurred.
Can we
You like the history that the Hawaiian people tell of the dolphins?
Yes.
Can-
And we miss them very much.
Can we have updates every couple of months just to know how things are going?
We would love to do that.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you. Do you have anybody have any other questions?
No,
for
just
Dolphin?
any final words, Dolphin, that you would like to get through to humanity.
All aquatic life of the ocean want to connect to the surface or land creatures, and especially humanity. We don't like that we are cut off from you. We know that we are a major part of Earth's ecosystem and food source for many countries around the world, but we want to share our message that the ocean needs help, and we're hoping to get our message across humanity to focus more on the ocean.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm back.
Interesting.
That's
Oh.
the first time that I've ever channeled. It came through very strong. I was-
Yes, yeah, both Starlight and Dolphin were very, very potent there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got confused because they were so close to each other. Because she's here, Dolphin was here, and I'm like, they were like right together there. So I was like, I'm not Starlight, I'm Dolphin. Okay, yeah, sorry, right. I got confused for a second. The forest people are around, and that's is also what they said meant. This is what Fuma meant earlier by vetting. Is what he was trying. He was trying to keep the peace there, to moderate, but he didn't want to alarm. That was the thing, and also the fact that this force could oppose them fairly easily. So they didn't want they didn't want to get too much pushback. So I do understand. Yeah, I always tell them don't do anything that puts them in danger. So okay,
And in all honesty, like I said, I'm kind of beating myself up a little bit because I saw and I just assumed what was happening
I
was
saw
a
that the skull
disruption.
wanted to latch onto my arm.
that's
So
okay. That's
I
what
was
doing it,
shown
yeah.
its construction and everything, but I saw constantly behind it a gray, and since I am so
Weird.
well, I just feel the grays interfere with everything. So my interpretation was they were interfering with my channel rather than I needed to have brought that up because it was a point that needed to be understood. It wasn't, they weren't interfering with the channel. I was seeing who
Yeah.
was behind it and I ignored it, which I guess the point of this is to say, everyone, if you're getting information, again, I didn't come at it neutrally because
Yeah.
I had a preconceived notion that they interfere, and so I was doing this. And if I wouldn't, Chris and I would have had a whole different conversation this morning. I personally just learned a lot for myself on bring every piece of it out.
And look at it objectively.
Yes,
Okay.
bring it out for other people to also
Yeah.
to be able to tune
Yeah.
in to get a better feel for it. And I did not do that.
Because when I touched it, I mean, the first thing I did was it felt go right up my arm. Then I felt this amazing rush of purple coming all over me. And then my sinuses suddenly got cleared.
Right, exactly. You were saying that. Exactly.
And I was like, but then I saw the gray, and he was really happy, and I was like, no, something's wrong, because he did that thing. He was like, we actually got someone touching it. Come on. And I'm like, something's wrong with this thing.
I understand now. Curing your illness there in order to get favor. I believe.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
was, yes.
They come in as a Trojan horse.
Yes.
And this is what some of this stuff is, and we don't give it enough time to really discern it well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's interesting is when I held it, there was nothing. And I've held Max, and I was given visions, and I was communicating with him. But when I held this one, it's like I was like, where's the communication? Where's the information? There's nothing coming through. And it's like I could look at the eyes, and I'm like, there's something there, but there's no vision connection. There's no telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah, and I was wondering who was grabbing my arm during that too. That you could probably see
Yeah.
me shooing stuff.
Yeah,
Where I kept doing that and twitching and stuff like that. I was trying to shoot something off while I was.
That
there.
was the crystal skull.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't trust skull edifices for the most part, so I don't want to dump on them because it's an awesome find, but at the same time, it has to be cleansed too. So
The dolphin and the fairy, like, please cleanse the crystal.
I put an
So
orb down in
You
it.
know, you didn't ask the question though, but maybe in your communication you got a feel for it. So I didn't think to follow up by asking originally what was a part of that. I mean, so we always are concerned about it because something will use it as an edifice for a while and then vacate it, and then you don't know what's coming in next. So I guess
So like a hermit
my
crab?
question is, huh?
So like a hermit crab?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Exactly.
just come in, and it's like, who's guarding this? And I said that, you weren't there at the time, I said that apparently this one, they have been guarding it well, but from this conversation now, it's like, they may have come in, I don't know if they were always there as their trickster selves, let's just say, or whether there was something else there that maybe could have been good, vacated, and then that was taken over.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've got
Think-
any feel for that
There was
all.
a female in there.
Uh-huh.
There was a female in there. She was in there for a while. Then something happened and she moved on to another one, and then they found it. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely a female, but then the ones that took over were not.
Kind of like, you know how a cuckoo bird will take over another nest,
Yeah.
take the other egg out,
Right.
and then
And
it's
this
like
happens
that.
all the time,
Uh-huh.
which is why that we're like, we stay away from them. Because again, you just never know, because it's not always consistently the same being who's using it. So
Yeah, man, my jaw popped for a second. I was wondering what was doing that. Okay. Who wants to talk now? I know somebody has something urgent to say here. Real quick. Puma? Puma. That you? Two bananas. All right. You spoke earlier. So,
Who's the guy in the corner of the room? On top?
Over there?
Yeah, I'm seeing someone over there.
another fourth person, I believe.
Okay.
A shorter red one, actually. Let me vet. Seymour? Is that you? No, you're something else. Hang on. Okay. This is why you want to make a quick zoom. Okay. You only got a minute or two. Just because there's some other focus here. So. I don't have your foot here, but use the crystal. Go. Excuse the omission earlier. He is correct. You all are correct. 100%. This was far more urgent than he realized, because he was in a more peaceful state. We assisted with this, but his healings, you'd say, were well timed. In Alan's state, it was what is warranted to defeat this particular adversary. No amount of aggression was going to ever do it. Maybe a forceful push, but axes and swords in this particular way would have been absorbed. But yes, warrior, yes, fine, but at the same time, this is why I kept emphasizing the fact that something nearby needed to be vetted more carefully. The fight was just the after effect. The call was the skull. And it should be more specific what was within it. I say was because we just helped push it out, put it into a frozen dormancy for a moment. This is latching from another time frame. And yes, you said, Audrey, and also Dolphin, I should say, said booby traps. Your ancestors, as well as ours, are responsible for some of this. We misunderstood that some of our own people also participated in this, in that time frame, because of the urgency of taking care of different Orion forces and other negative Nordic forces at that particular moment in time around in that particular temporal cluster. I must be quick about this, but the omission was for safety reasons. Now, I did not omit the need for vetting. I did not omit the fact that there needs to be a column or a calm, and there needs to be a unity. What you do not want, like you said, Joanna, what you do not want are forces, seen or unseen, heard or unheard, felt or unfelt, to invade that space. Any Trojan must be eliminated if you want a conference or a talking point or anything to be free and clear. You need to have a space. No space is pure, but you must have a unification. No Trojans, human, nor edifice, nor entity. These 3 points. Watch for these always. Do anyone you have any questions? Or
I just want to make a comment because it's funny because Chris and I were prepared for another artifact to show up where we were going to say our piece that we did not agree with the energies of it at all. And if we felt the same in its presence, we were prepared to say, I'm sorry, but we don't agree. And the reason I bring
the
that
reason
up,
for the fight because you were going to put that into motion.
we were if they brought it. And if we felt that was still, the energies had not been cleared, that we were told were cleared, we were willing to sit up there and say, we appreciate the archaeology, we agree with it, we know whatever, we do not currently agree with the energies that are coming out, we do not actually feel they're for good, humanity's good, if they were not cleared yet. We were prepared to try and say it in a way that wouldn't cause a fight, but that we were being true to ourselves.
Because you were firm, others were not.
Except this one got us. I'm just going to say, this one did get us.
I will say though, there was one person at the conference who I was talking about the skull, and she says, "No, that thing needs to be smashed right away."
I laugh at you say that because that's how I felt. The other object that didn't come, I just am like, it needs to be taken to the nearest volcano and dumped into
Yes.
it.
Ironically, though, if you were to do the Hulk smash moment,
Yeah.
this would set those beings free within your particular time continuum.
Okay.
So they would be then manifest within your particular timeline cluster. They are stuck within their own,
Good.
but then have a inlet inward, like basically a genie trapped in a lamp or a bottle, or a djinn trapped in a bottle. They're at the behest of whichever the anchor point is. In some instances, jinn had the anchor point of a master. In this instance, the anchor point is another temporal reality. So, with that said, that must remain not this way, but cleansed. Close the door to whatever that temporal reality is and cleanse the edifice. I personally would put it in the ocean, but send it down to where the ocean tumbles it and turns it slowly into the rest of the silicon. Then the door is closed.
And again, not to
Not smash, not break open, but
close. So I have to, upon reflection, I'll tell you what I now can reflect on and say what the problem was. Number one, we were rushed. Something new was brought into the environment.
Shiny.
You know what I mean? That was brought in for everyone to see that no one was prepared for, and no one really had a chance themselves to sit back and vet it, which I think was intentional on the Skull's part to show up like that as a surprise. I'm going to tell you in all honesty that I wouldn't pick it up. So it's funny, remember I would not hold it, and I didn't trust myself on that either, number one. But number two, I agree with you, Michael, now, that I was caught more up in everyone else's response. There was nothing coming off of it. It really was neutral. And the one thing Chris and I have always said, neutral is not good. If you are not getting something off of it.
blank or hollow is
Yes,
not good.
it's not
Neutral
good.
can be fine.
Right.
Hollow.
No, but
And-
I agree with you. And I'm like, you're so right. It's exactly what it was. But we were just caught up in it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the costume.
Oh, please have fun.
Apology.
Have fun.
And what's interesting is I was going to bring up, they wanted you to smash it because I never had the thought to smash. And I was like, when I heard smash it, I was like, that's what they want, to be free.
Yes.
They're contained.
It's a prison. Yes, you see, booby trap, prison for a temporal reality, a schism timeline that could not. How can I put this in layman? That could a branch that could no longer grow on a tree, that it was not pruned, rotted, and stunted.
Okay.
It could still grow within the rate within that reality, like you see on your Star Trek program where the Enterprise was frozen and a Romulan ship was frozen, kind of thing. But it was still moving slowly within that reality.
Good episode.
Yes, it was that kind of thing. You believe you call them time dilation fields?
Yeah.
That's what is within there. This is a device that was not only created by humans, ourselves, in part, I must say, when humans and Sasquatch or forest people were working together. But there were also other forces at work. They were creating a crack in a program that would stunt a timeline. These are temporal devices, you see, that can exist in multiple timelines at once in tandem. So therefore, any booby traps that had to be put in there as a trap would have to contain that same type of capability. So she is correct. Dolphin was correct by saying that a booby trap was put in by our ancestors. And this is 110% true.
Well, thank you. And again, I just think we have to all have the grace. I think now my next, something new that's coming up, I am going to elect to have time to ponder it.
I think it's the right thing to do.
I think that would be the prudent thing to do.
And it is-
discernment.
Yes, use
Mhm.
discernment.
Time to discern.
And remember this, if something starts to turn into a Jerry Springer moment, you need to keep, especially if you are amongst, in the storm you become the eye of the storm, the calmest portion, as you have done. The calmest portion, no matter what is next to you, no matter what is in front and to the sides. You are the eye of the storm, and that is the outer edge, you see. And you are just watching and observing the mayhem. Do not become embroiled in the mayhem. He always says, ironically, if he had not been force grounded, he would have ended up getting integrated into the mayhem. I say no, because what happened? Spirit aligned all perfectly. This is what needed and it was supposed to take place. You see.
Are there any other artifacts here that need to be cleansed?
The little ones are fine.
Okay.
The only two of concern are the skull and the pyramid with the two rings.
Okay. Did we clean the pyramid?
It is partially, that is another work in progress. These are temporal objects, you see.
Okay.
These are temporal objects. Yes, okay. Did not mean to keep people. Temporal objects, temporal in play. So therefore, a temporal rewriting must take place, you see, aligning to a different timeline that could then be dilated through it, therefore cleansing the molecules. This is out of the Forest People's League.
Okay.
So this is more another timeline, temporal factions, capabilities. We were able to set certain booby traps in place, so we're human, but more rudimentary. He's saying kind of like in your Skyrim game where there was a nocturnal cult that had to do with the Nightingale type faction, but then there was a cult that came later that was more of a ritualistic one. It shows the expanse of time. This was a disclosure moment in a time dilated, or worship of a Daedric Lord type thing. This is what was going on with this. Therefore, another cult or another tribe came along later to do something they knew not what completely needed to be done. They just knew something needed to be done. So with this, in that game, it showed both things. A purer version of your the Twilight Sepulchre mission in that, and then a trial. He's using this in his big file cabinet of disclosure in the media, and we fully approve of this. Now, in reality, you have to have a temporal faction like your future kind and others of that measure, your Asgard, places like this that can actually help realign these lenses. Because it was also another timeline by them by which then created these objects, you see. So therefore, some of those forces need to help along with humans. But will this be done overnight? I'm afraid not, but it's changing. Can be done overnight in 24 hours, as you say.
Thank you very much. This has been very helpful.
Mm-hmm. I do not mean to omit, but again, eye of the storm, you see.
No, I get it. And again, sometimes we get it right and sometimes we have to learn something from it.
Yeah.
Now you're watching the storm on the horizon. Just remember, in all situations like this, reign supreme. So, any more questions for myself?
Is there anything else we should be looking up for, coming forward to for the rest of the summer? Do you do any of that kind of stuff, or?
Even though we do not do prophecies per se, The rest of the summer, the only thing that will cause drama, unfortunately, is your political theater.
Okay, that's everything. That's every day.
Yes, that is very predictable, therefore a safe prediction. So, a safe prediction, drama abounds on television is a fact and has been a constant since the dawn of man. So, well, not quite that dramatic, but theater has been. So, I will detach now, so thank you. Always. Oh, yeah, it's too bad they had to go.
I can stay if you want to talk for more. If you just want, or don't want a video or anything, we can just have. Okay, so if you want to go to sleep, I'm fine too. So I don't.
No, I find it an interesting thing. We can talk for a minute before we shut down, because again, I think about what you were.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
about
a little like strained. That's why, yeah.
what you. It's kind of weird because again, I'm reflecting because obviously none of us want to support something. We want to figure it out as soon as possible and alert and talk. So there were pieces of the vision that I interpreted wrong. You saw things as well, and forces kept all of us apart from talking about it.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Jerry Springer moment.
Well,
there,
but
yeah.
I mean, even before that, which I have to say again is part of the Trojan horsing. And can we get people from talking about their experience that maybe they'd say, wait a minute. So I think again, as you know, I think we all agree, we probably should
Slow down.
slow down and really ponder things that are introduced to us and take a little bit longer to make an opinion about it,
Yeah.
and
Make sure it's cleansed.
and to collaborate.
Yes.
Because I think one of the things is if we all would have sat down and really just said, this is what I saw, and I would have said, these are all the things I saw, it probably would have dawned on us. So I think there is an importance of the need to make sure people understand the importance of collaborating, because
Groupthink.
everybody is seeing a certain piece of the pie, and together more of the information can come out. You know, even Michael's piece when he said it didn't feel anything, I'm like, but when you're in all of it really, really quickly, it's like, I'm like, he is absolutely right.
I mean, and to be fair, I did see him, but I was just so happy to have my sinuses working.
Right.
And
But that's what the Trojan horse does. It's something we've always said about how things are going to come in, and it's going to be this benevolence at first to be able to turn the conversation, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It was this bedazzlement in the front part of this. So I think I've learned a lot as far as reserving judgment on something till there's more information. I'm probably thanking you and the importance, like I said, of collaborating. And what do you think about this, and what do you think?
I think that's exactly what we should be doing. We were all like, ooh, new shiny stuff.
Right? We got caught up in it.
Yeah, literally caught in the whole way.
But it made itself shiny, so we would get caught up in it. So, so thank goodness. Like I said, I'm so grateful that less than a few hours later that we were talking about it, that we are able to have a conversation to together look at this a little bit more deeply and information brought up.
And I want to say to all the forest people, see, we can solve some of the problems we cause. If we have the information, we will make the better choices.
Well, you see Audrey, make sure she closes that circle.
I'll talk her later.
Yes, okay. I'm being also urged to do the same. So that would be also why our two lady friends, Elaine and Vesta, don't want to show up here. Like Isaac said, no, they were afraid to. So yeah.
I'm getting a big giant fish just jumping up and down in the water right now.
Oh,
Like
that's
the
sweet.
fish is jumping up and the moon is in the background.
Very
It's not a
pretty.
dolphin, it's a fish though.
Yeah, just showing support.
I guess so.
I think so.
Yes, I'm seeing.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yes, I will. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching this. I know people got up and left, but there was an urgency here to do this. They were on a time constraint. For them, retroactively, I'm closing that circle for them as well as I do this. So I now close this circle within true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So thank you everybody. Bye-bye now.
I do want to say real quick, confirmation of what was said last night with the coral reef. Got this as a gift from the ocean, piece of coral. You know how hard it is to have that happen? It was approaching the beach. something told me to turn around to the left of where the place was, or to the right when you go out to the ocean, but my left at the time. And I swam over, snorkeled. It wasn't as rough this time. Couldn't snorkel yesterday, past couple days, because the ocean's been too rough because of a sea storm or a tropical storm in the Gulf. Multiple little storms spawned off of it, but big one out in the Gulf churned everything up. But in that churning, like we were talking about, coral reef, that. So I'm going to end this here. I just wanted to show the gift given by those dolphins. So, and the fairies, like Starlight. Anyway, basically, and I felt them say, basically, here, you're welcome, or thank you, rather. And I said, you're welcome, acknowledge. Because we give stone gifts back. We have a bag over here. Oh, stone offering, broken angel statues, soapstone ones, things of that nature. They'll get worn down in the ocean, like what was said about the skull, worn down. Those will get worn down. Those are Orion type edifices, so same difference, same procedure. But it's stone, it'll turn it into a gemstone beach after a while. You keep doing it. If you have a small stone, offer it to the ocean, wherever you're at. It'll break down slowly. Broken glass turns into sea glass too, but I wouldn't recommend that too much. Just gems, little gemstones. Just throw in to change energy from amethyst to apatite to any of them that you happen to have. Quartz crystal, clear crystal, smoky quartz, any of the little stones you have, like little things, give something back. We do it in millimeters and centimeters on properties. We'll flick a bead of hematite out the door every now and again. Or put some sand on the property, Sedona dirt, Valley of Fire, and Red Rock Canyon dirt. Do it all the time. And you slowly, surely change the energy. This has to be a little faster, but still, you know what I mean. Slow build up, gets unnoticed, and can't exactly be fought. Frog boiling in the pot, gets used to it if it's slow, jumps out if it's too fast. Well, I'll leave it here. So, it is 8:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, July 18th, 2025. Thank you.